With the help of AI, I'm going to show you how to create endless patterns for your pattern fill layers in Photoshop. But if you forget anything that we discuss along the way, you can grab the free lesson cheat sheet for this video available in the description below. But with that, let's start our journey in Adobe Firefly to create our starting design. Now here inside of Adobe Firefly, which is actually a website that you can access, this is where we're going to create our base pattern. Even though there is a generate image feature now inside of Photoshop, I have found that it doesn't really work as well for these repeating pattern prompts. So that's why I'm going to start inside of Adobe Firefly. If you have any Creative Cloud subscription, you'll have more than enough credits to play around with this. So you can try a bunch of different prompts until you find something that you're happy with. For this example, I've used vector leaves, pastel tones, flat lay, repeating pattern, scattered flowers, matte, solid colored background with no shadow. The reason that I put no shadow is because there was a bunch of examples here where these shadows or gradient backgrounds were not going to work for the pattern, because if you think of how a repeating pattern is going to look, these shadows or bright areas are just going to look like these squares in a final repeating pattern. Instead, we want a more muted image across the background in particular, and we would like to avoid shadows if we can. When you're creating these prompts, what's most important is that you're very specific about the colors and the style of the objects that you're creating. I wanted vector clip art style of leaves, which is why I put vector leaves. But if you wanted something that looks illustrated or like watercolor painted or grungy or whatever, you want to be specific about that inside of your prompt. The other really important thing you'll want to add is repeating pattern in your prompt, because it will create an edge-to-edge image like we have down here. Now for the other settings, I'm currently just using the square aspect ratio and the Firefly Image 3 model with the content type set to art. But this is a little too intense for my tastes, so I'll go to the styles and bring down the visual intensity and click generate again. And this is a little bit more in line with what I was thinking. This one's not too bad. I'll click download to save that one, but I would like to maybe generate a few other options similar to this. So I'll go to edit and generate similar. We missed the mark pretty hard on this one down here, but I think this other option looks good to me. So I'll download both of those. You can create as many of these as you want, but once you have a few downloaded, we'll go into Photoshop next. Inside of Photoshop, I'll just go to open and then select one of the patterns that I want to bring into the program. I'll do this one for now, click open. Now the first step in this process is to remove anything that looks a little bit weird. In this case, we have this weird double stem. So I'll grab the remove tool by pressing J. And while that layer is active, I'll just scale down my brush and paint over this area to remove it. That looks acceptable enough for me here. Pressing Command or Control 0 to fit this back to my screen, let's go and turn this into a pattern. The first thing that we need to do is go to Filter, Other, and then Offset. What this allows us to do is see the edges where our repeating pattern would continue. I'll just use these default +200 settings, and the wraparound option is enabled. I'll click OK. Now, of course, there's a lot of weird things going on here. So the first step is to remove anything that's totally unsalvageable, such as these here. With the remove tool still active, I'll just paint over those leaves that I want to remove, press enter to remove them, and then repeat this in a few other areas to fix some of these major problem areas. Now to solve the issue of those very visible lines, we can just use generative fill to fill all that stuff in, using AI to fix AI. So going to the marquee tool by pressing M, I'm using the rectangular marquee tool, and with a 0 pixel feather, I'll just click and drag to create a selection just outside of either edge of that overlapping line. I'll let go and then hold the Shift key and click and drag out again to create a secondary selection around the other overlapping section. This will create one giant T selection, and we can go to the generative fill setting in the contextual taskbar and just click on generate. Photoshop will try to remove that line and fill in any of these weird inconsistencies. Sometimes it works first try, but other times it doesn't. So let's see what we got here. We have 3 different variations to choose from. I would say this one might be actually the best, so I'll choose that for now. We still have a handful of weird things going on, like this leaf here looks totally wrong, so I'm going to remove it from the image completely. I'll grab the remove tool once again, create a new layer this time at the top of the layer stack, and make sure that sample all layers is enabled while the remove tool is active. That way I can remove and update not only the generative fill layer, but also the background layer. I'll paint over this leaf here, press enter to remove it, and that looks good there. And I'll also remove this leaf that just seems a little bit too weird for me as well. As for some of the little details, such as in this leaf, I can use the remove tool to just paint over those areas, press enter, and it does a decent job sometimes to rebuild those lines. You can play around with it just in small sections until you're happy with the result. I'll repeat this process just on this leaf as well, painting along small areas to rebuild some of the design and make it a little bit less blurred and doesn't have quite as much of a seam anymore. Do one final look over the areas that you have done the generative fill adjustment. Make sure to remove any shadows and weird things that might be happening around the photo. Now we're getting pretty close, but we now have 2 giant blank areas that we want to fill in that we have removed those not nice looking leaves from. So to make our life easy, we can just click on the background layer, grab the lasso tool by pressing L, and with a feather of 5 pixels, I'll just click and drag around the leaf that I want to duplicate, and then press Command or Control J while that background layer is selected and that selection is active. That'll duplicate that leaf onto its own layer, and we can move it with the move tool into a new position. I'll move it to the top of the layer stack so it blends in there. With the help of the remove tool, once again pressing J, we can just blend in some of these outer edges. I'll repeat this process one more time with the lasso tool, clicking on the background layer, and I'll duplicate this pink leaf in this case. With the selection active, pressing Command or Control J, using the move tool to move it into position, and moving it to the top of the layer stack so we can see it above our other removal layers. If you need to further blend it in, you can use the remove tool or just use a layer mask if that's what you'd like to do instead. But now with this complete, we have removed the seam and we have an endless repeating pattern. And we can now save this as a pattern preset. Shift clicking all of the layers, I'll press Command or Control E to merge them onto one. Now I'll go up to Edit and down here to Define Pattern. I'll give this a name such as Example Leaves and click OK. Now when we go and create a new pattern fill layer by going to the adjustments icon and going to pattern, within the pattern fill dialog box at the bottom here, we'll have our new custom pattern that we can click on, and we can scale that pattern as we would like to create this endless repeating pattern to use in future projects. This has been something that I've had a lot of fun with recently with the help of Adobe Firefly, because you can create pretty much any pattern that you would like. It also works really well for textures, and that's something that I've enjoyed using it for as well. Clicking OK, we have now successfully turned our AI image into a reusable pattern here inside of Photoshop. Now, if you want to easily review everything that we covered in this lesson, plus get some helpful prompts to create better patterns in Photoshop, be sure to download the lesson cheat sheet in the description below. It's totally free. There I break down everything you learned here in a bite-sized PDF so you can remember the process without having to rewatch the whole video in the future. Again, that is available in the description below, and with that, I'll see you next time.